Cha-cha. Hey. Well, hello, friends. It's that time again. People across the land know it as Mumamo, which to you means Mutants and Masterminds Monday. It is a program dedicated to the only superhero TTRPG ever made. Weird, lost opportunity, I think. But we're here. We're happy to fill the void. Can you hear me, friends? Nice.
See? Anticipating your needs.
I love it. On it like a bonnet, my friend. I do appreciate it. Look, Squire's here. Squire, you and I have some catching up to do. Squire and I are making a date. We're going to sit and talk about GMery.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah, very excited about
A very timely subject.
Yes, indeed. Who else do we got cooking? We've got RC, good to see you, friend. Claude's here as well. Phantom's been mentioned. The Phantom Menace has been mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
King Snarf, SC Pilot. Now, SC Pilot, are you SCTerranMarine? Are you the same, one and the same? I need to know. It's very important.
Right.
King Snarf, I already said your name, I believe. If not, I said it in my heart. Devious. Devious is always here, lurking. Non Sequitur Nate, rocking it in the chat. Good to see you, friend. If you donate, I swear I'm going to reach through the screen and I'm going to, I don't know what, something. It'll be upsetting. Warden Maximus is here. Sorry, let me say that again. Warden Maximus. Dramadork, you know, I got to tell you, if you want to follow someone who is just living their best life, filled with just joy and fun and mirth and adventure, you're going to want to follow Dramadork on TikTok. I adore what she's doing there. Such good stuff. Dramadork, tell us what your handle is. Is it Dramadork over there too? Be a great name. Oh, you know what? I forgot something.
A little bit of synergy.
Look at this. Abracadabra. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just leaving you behind the modesty shield like some kind of jerk.
Well, I need a little bit extra modesty today.
It's fair.
Yeah, well, you know, I lack any modesty at all, but how can I? I'm just a bunch of mist.
Just a billowing cloud.
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt safer behind the shield because we're in the jungle today.
Right.
We are in the jungle. It is Jungle Heroes and Lost Worlds. This was a topic. SCTerranMarine and was it Paul Rua? Am I giving out credits where credit ain't due? I believe it. I believe it was something like that. We'll find out for sure. Yes, the whole team is here. Warden Maximus.
Indeed.
Oh, good. Yeah. Dramadork 884. Go over there and follow.
Over.
Yeah. Dramadork being
RC has dropped a Linktree.
Dramadork being a part of the longest running Mutants and Mastermind podcast on planet Earth ever.
Impressive.
And yeah, that's Masks and Mayhem. Mayhem and Masks? No, it's Masks and Mayhem.
No, Masks and Mayhem.
Yeah, it's Masks and Mayhem.
Yeah. Let's see who else we got. Howdy, hey, Troybert Lewis Stevenson. Okay, sure, I'll take that. Happy Mumamo Super Fam. I saw some funny stuff in here. I wanted to make sure I called out.
Good morning to our own Paul Rua.
Yes, Paul Rua. It's like a jungle. Sometimes it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. I like it. Nods vehemently in silent agreement with King Snarf. There's some kind of I don't like it when chat agrees with themselves.
Usually means they're up to something.
There's some kind of something going on. But I thought that that is a good deep cut, but a good call. One of my favorite songs. Jungle Love. Oh, wee. Such a good one. Where did I thought I saw a little poem to me in the chat. How did I lose it? Oh, yes. Troy the Invincible. He's a man of principle. My new motto. Thank you, Paul.
That's from your opening credits.
Indeed, it is. Yeah, for my biopic. which I'm very excited. Hey, Simon, good to see you. Don't forget Tarzan Boy. Oh, that's a good one. That's
Right.
that kind of new wave song, right? That way back in the day. Sort of Tarzan Boy, like that kind of. Only with the voice that didn't sound like mine. Well, okay, so let's address the dwindling population of elephant in the room. Look at this. My buddy, oh, wait, let me read this first before he. Yes. Hope, good to see you hanging out in chat. Finally, an episode themed around dance music built around breakbeats that was popular in the late 90s video game menus. Yes, that's exactly what this
Yes,
is.
precisely what this is.
That's exactly right. Glad that you clocked it, but it's always good to see you. Island Boy, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah, George of the Jungle, that's a good one. We're talking, of course, about jungle creeps. Narrative,
Right.
good to see you. Hey to you, directly to you. But there's a little bit of problematic stuff. We're just going to say it. We're going to front load it, and then we're going to we need to be sort of belaboring the point. But
Sure.
you've got Tarzan, who's sort of this white savior kind of person, who can jungle better than any jungle person that ever jungled. And then you've got I don't know, Indiana Jones, who is sort of the grave robber, sort of the tip of the museum industrial complex spear,
Right.
antiquity, where they're like, hey, we know that this belongs to your village, your people, your culture.
What a title.
We're keeping it.
Right.
Because you can't be trusted with this thing that we probably broke on our way of pilfering it out of your temple, your, whatever. So
Yeah.
there's that. I would
Yes.
say, for me personally, it just feels like an important acknowledgement, at least in my mind, especially if you're
Yes.
crafting something, right?
I mean, the whole genre of, sort of jungle adventure stories, pretty much dates back to a very, very colonialist period,
Yeah.
where the notion of, the jungle was, synonymous with some sort of exotic foreign land that was inhabited by, primitive tribal people. And there's a lot of cultural issues around the whole trope to be considered as far as
Right.
that goes before you throw it right into your game.
Yeah. And it's just, you don't even have to be too preachy about it. You don't have to be too anything about it. Just be mindful is all.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a truth. It is definitely a truth because, when you're working with people, you want to invite them to the jungle. This is not working out. I was going to read the Guns N' Roses lyrics until somebody begged me to stop. But every lyric site is no longer just like text. I've got to,
No.
yeah.
You got to welcome to the jungle. You got fun and games.
Yeah.
You got everything they
you
want.
want.
Right.
But then what's that next line? It's the jungle way we play or something, or
We
we got something you can't find. It's something. We've got something scary and a bunch of leaves. It's the jungle. Welcome to the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
We got leaves. No, maybe not.
I don't think it's got leaves. I mean, I think the jungle has leaves.
The
I don't
jungle
think
does
Axl
have
Rose
leaves,
has leaves.
but
Yeah. Or
I think Axl Rose has leaves, but I don't think the lyrics are leaves.
Right. Yeah, and he's getting kind of old enough that I don't think he has knees either. So, okay. So yeah, but here's the other thing too. I am sympathetic to the fact that we were all raised on this romantic image of this kind of adventure and a room full of snakes that you escape and all the things, and the Tarzan and the classic which I don't even know where that came from or what it was supposed to mean.
I
But
think that's George of the Jungle.
well, but George of the Jungle is like a spoof on Tarzan, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure that my timelines are right because you never know. Sometimes the Oreo isn't the first Oreo. It's yeah. So, all things considered, let's talk about Jungle Heroes and Lost Worlds.
All right. Well, I think that one thing that is worth noting that actually works together in this concept is that one thing I've found useful in my setting design with this particular trope is to go with the notion of the jungle environment as a lost world, and take the Marvel approach, with the Savage Land, for example, where the Savage Land is this secret primeval jungle that exists hidden away in Antarctica, and so therefore it's not part of anybody's existing culture. It's not part of anybody's existing land or history, much in the same way that the Lost World on Earth Prime is tucked in an alternate pocket dimension that's accessible from places on Earth, which led some people on Earth in the past to think that it was on Earth, or inside the Earth, or what have you.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's really essentially another world. So you get to have, the the trope of the weird exotic jungle environment, but it's not anybody's backyard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nobody's history except the First Nation dinosaurs who you're disrupting.
Exactly,
That's
and nobody thinks of them.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
I do. I think of them.
Yes, that's
You
true.
do.
You do,
You
Alex,
really
because
do,
you're that
Alex.
kind of guy.
You keep the memory alive, for sure.
I was building up to that in our Golden Age game we were playing with the company.
That's right. Did we run into some?
You ran into some compies in a trench coat who were posting this.
A quick question: do your dinosaurs have feathers?
Oh, that depends.
Depends on.
Depends on if I'm telling a fun pulp story or I'm telling a fun time travel story.
I see.
Or where the dinosaurs are from. Like if the dinosaurs are there because somebody built them to look like what they think dinosaurs look like, then they're probably not going to have feathers.
Okay. Like if they're a Brooklyn dinosaur, you're going to go without feathers.
Yeah, like a we're back situation.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy. Oh, it was David Bolack. Hey, David Bodie, by the way, good to see you. And Jumanji, I think, was a really fun presentation of a
lot of those tropes.
Yeah, and really, it kind of made the sort of the pith helmet wearing, colonizer kind of goofy and dangerous, and it was fun, really fun. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Hollow Earth is that we talked a bit about that. Pook mentions. I do like
mentions that Land of the Lost is another good example of that.
That
taking the sort of Lost World trope and setting it on another world or through time travel or whatever it was that Land of the Lost actually did.
You're right. I will say that Land of the Lost really can only be appreciated in its originating form.
I agree.
I agree. I do love. Is it Brandon Fraser?
Yeah. Brandon Fraser's Mummy. Oh,
he was in. Wasn't he in Land of the Lost?
Not the remake. No.
Oh,
yeah, I thought that was The Rock.
Was it The Rock? He's in everything. But
it's Will Ferrell.
Yeah, it was Will Ferrell.
Oh, Will Ferrell. Yeah, I felt like their take was just not what it ought to have been. It should needed a little more. It just needed a couple more hits of acid, I think, and it might have made it a little bit more palatable.
Yeah.
Oh, the La Brea tar pits. Okay, now Squire said something earlier that I don't. It happened all at once. People were talking about how the warning against, quicksand.
Yes, I always thought quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem than it turned out to be.
Agonized over that as a kid. Just where would you see it? How would you know? Do I have to carry a stick around all the time? I mean,
sneak up on you anywhere.
Right. That and the Bermuda Triangle was kind of hyped up to be something.
Yeah. I was a little more concerned about that than I needed it to be.
Absolutely. Let's see some other comments here real quick. But I really did. So you know what? That's one thing I love about this whole conversation is that it can be an opportunity for you to amp up the quicksand dial.
Yes, absolutely can.
It's
a little more challenging for dealing with characters who can fly and teleport.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true.
But
Well, that's why you got to make sure you have some compelling NPCs to fall in.
Yes.
Okay, so what are some
that's
of
what the quick
should we
air
start
is
with
for.
Jungle Heroes?
Right. Exactly.
I like it. It's so evocative. Quicksand. I just didn't know. Was it wet? Was it dry?
Right.
Sorry, Pitfall. Yeah, Nate, that's a good one. Those little alligators would come up and bite you. But Jungle Heroes. So let's talk some origin stories, right? Like,
Yep.
what can that be? Of course, we've got the classic. I'm a baby raised by.
Yeah,
fairies
you've got the classic sort of savage, kin with the beasts type jungle hero, who usually has animal allies or companions, can speak with the animals in some fashion, or has some sort of like rulership over the animals, and all of the sort of jungle survival skills and the like, as far as that goes. And that's a pretty common, classic trope.
Yeah. Okay, no, I was thinking of, remember Magma? Magma came from a Rome, an
From
alternate Rome kind
Nova
of.
Roma, the
Yeah.
hidden Roman city in the jungle.
Well, I could see that as a great origin
Yep.
story too. I was
Well,
thinking
that's another big common trope in Lost Worlds is the sort of lost civilization sort of thing. Take any ancient culture and transplant them into the Lost World, and they're still thriving there in some
Right.
form or another.
Nothing has evolved in the last 2,000 years.
Right, and nothing has changed in the last, couple thousand years.
You could even have fun too with that. Maybe it did.
Yeah, I was just going to say maybe it has, but we also our modern age we have a very particular notion about the way things change over time.
Right.
Where in a lot of ancient civilizations, things were in fact pretty much the same for hundreds, if not thousands, of years at a time.
Right. I also wonder too. A theme that might be kind of clever is this lost world that we think is lost, but they know right where they are, and they are playing that up. They kind of create the myth and the the legend and all of that as part of their protection against
that's where you could get into the Gorilla City, Wakanda.
Oh yes,
the super advanced culture that's hidden away in the Lost World, and like you said, they intend to stay lost, pretty much as far as that goes.
I love this. A Lost World, but it's people perpetually in the mid 1990s.
Oh, that sounds great.
I think it sounds.
Isn't that just the Matrix?
Right?
I would love that. All the shoulder pads, the great music,
awesome.
And the cocaine. Let's see, what else do we got? Dinotopia. Is that a place?
Yeah. Very popular series of art storybooks with, pretty pictures of dinosaurs.
I do like Tigra, the Tiger Woman from Marvel.
Yep.
That's fun. So, why do I feel like maybe I'm just on too much, hopscotch or whatever they call it.
You're hopped up on scotch. Is that what you're saying?
That's it. That's what it is.
Up on hop.
That's right. That's right. It's the I'm thinking of He-Man. That does that happen in the jungle?
Well, I mean, Eternia has a jungle.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I'm zeroing in on that, but what are some of the more popular?
I think it's because of the muscles on the loincloths, Troy.
I was going to say, I think it's the fur loincloth and the muscles that give the Tarzan impression.
But... Yes, indeed.
A lot of naked heroes in this.
It's hot in the jungle.
It really is. That that doesn't have to be a part of your adventure, friends. If it lets you want to, and that's great. Sheena the Devil Woman.
Oh yeah, Sheena the She Devil.
I went to high school with her. Oh, Sheena the She Devil. Different.
Yep.
And I popped this up tempo for just a moment. We've got
Sidar. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said it.
That is Edgar Rice Burroughs' lesser known jungle Lost World. The guy who created Tarzan also created this whole Hollow Earth thing.
Yeah, and that's a fun way too. Maybe they haven't evolved, and maybe it is a collection of slee stacks or what have you. Well, they kind of evolved, didn't they?
The slee stacks, they kind of devolved, actually.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All those crystals in that cave was so awesome. Okay,
Right.
let's see. He-Man rides a tiger around. Paul, that might be what it is. Thank you for giving me my my out.
There is
on
that.
There is that. And tigers only belong in the jungle. Thundercats,
Oh,
are they a jungle-based?
Again, there were jungle environments.
But not strictly, you know.
Yeah.
and they are big cats.
They are big
turned human.
cats, right?
That's true. Always on the hunt for big catnip. Let's see. He-Man's mother does have some ties to the old Lost World Sword and Planet stories, being an Earth astronaut who got stranded.
Yep.
And that's kind of that could be kind of fun too. You know, the jungle as the thing that has come back after civilization has gone away.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of time travel
You get that in Commandy, the Last Boy on Earth.
You
know, I was trying to think of his name. I was like, he's like the opposite of a white savior because he's the only.
He's
person.
the only one. He's the
last. Everybody's
human.
an ape.
Is it part of? It's not part of the. Get your dirty paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
Well, culturally, yes. I mean, Commandy was very much inspired by Planet of the Apes and a lot of that stuff, but it was a DC comic in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, so Devious brings up Thunda. However you say that with an apostrophe. Is an American soldier who crashes into a prehistoric jungle and becomes a barbarian style hero.
Pretty much ever since John Carter of Mars, you've got the popular, ex-soldier ends up in Lost World and, uses his soldiering skills to become a heroic warlord.
We got a request. Say it again.
Say Pellucidar again.
Okay, good. Yeah. I didn't know either, Michael. I was like, Pellucidar. Yeah, I just had no clue. Good call on the Phantom. Yes, good call on the Phantom. Square says, how hard is it to keep these lost worlds lost? Is there a narrative framework you maintain to explain how they can coexist and stay separate? Great question.
Yeah. I think that's another great reason to set your lost world in a very hard to access place like the Hollow Earth or in an alternate dimension, or they have to go through the Bermuda Triangle to go there. I think Valiant's Far Away is another really great example of it's not necessarily a lost world, but there are dinosaurs there in Amelia Earhart and lots of people who get lost.
Oh, interesting. So it's kind of the Bermuda Triangle is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's one way to get there. Yeah.
One way to get there, in fact. The Far Away is very much a Lost World.
Nice
setting.
Well, and it could be also the flip side of the flat Earth, right?
Yeah, some fashion.
If you were,
depends on how thick your flat Earth is,
or how thick your skull is. I think the flat Earth is flat. Okay, let's see here.
Man, the dark side of the Earth is a fun adventure idea. If the Earth was flat,
right?
What's on the other side of the disc?
Well, yeah, that'd be super fun. And
it depends on whether or not the sun goes around the planet or not.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Or if it just flips like a flapjack,
right,
in a frying pan,
just sort of tumbling, over and over through space.
Exactly. Not getting too hot on one side and not getting too hot on the other. Thundar. Okay, we're talking about Thundar. Also, Mahars, sentient, psychic, all-female pterosaurs and corsars, who are descendants of Barbary corsairs from Earth, which may again bring unfortunate implications. What the hell? That was like I opened up a fortune cookie. Interesting. So, what are corsars?
Corsairs?
Or is it corsairs? Like
pirates.
As in the pirates? Okay, got it. I'm sorry. I thought I thought it was like a brand of pirate dinosaur.
No, pirates from the Barbary coast.
Yeah, indeed.
I see. Let's see. The Earth is round, but the world inside
is
Earth is flat.
That is also a fun thing you can do with your Lost World. Is maybe it is flat, and that's why some explorers thought at one time the Earth was flat, because this other weird place is.
Yeah, and in a world where you don't know what gravity is or whatever. I mean, they knew what gravity was by that time, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they knew things, fell,
Yeah, right.
like that.
I do like this. Yes, the coarse hairs. Thank you so
Yes,
much for that.
Corsairs.
Very helpful. Dinotopia is a lost island where people get shipwrecked. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. That's right. From different eras and places. Yeah, with intelligent. Now, are they friendly, intelligent dinosaurs?
They have a
Very
lot
well.
of domesticated ones.
I see. I see. Prof. Purge says the general jungle hero archetype could be adapted to other wilderness types: deep forest, Amazon rain basin, tundra. Oh yeah, why not?
Sure.
Very interesting.
All
I was
kinds of jungle.
raised by saguaro cactuses. No, what's I'm trying to think of what's a creature in the desert.
Right.
Those little
Fennec
lizards.
foxes.
A fennec. I was raised by
Oh.
fennec.
Right. Fennec foxes.
He'd be so cute.
I was raised by bearded dragons. I mostly just lie on a rock all day.
Right.
Chew on people
Crickets.
and yeah.
Sun
Yeah.
myself like nobody's business.
Oh, that'd be nice. Very nice. Is that a bunch of rabbits that speak like really bad language?
The coarse hairs, yeah.
Corsairs. I get it. Paul Ruiz says Earth kind of has a bunch of them. Lost
Yes.
World, Subterra, Utopia, Island, and
Ultima Thule.
Ultima
Yeah.
Thule. Yeah, so we've talked about that. We've had a prior show on the hidden places,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that was a fun one. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's absolutely places where this could kind of take
Yeah.
root.
Another
Earth-
great concept for a lost world in Earth Prime would be in the curator's museum planet.
Yes.
It's stuck in an exhibit that's a lost world.
Yes.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it would make a fun campaign to start off a classic sort of Lost World story, campaign adventure. And then after the first big arc of the campaign, the characters find out that their entire world is actually hidden in a ring world around a distant star thousands of light years from Earth.
How fun. I love
I
that
think
twist.
I think it'd be a neat twist if the first season of it was regular superhero stuff, and then you find out it's sort of a Truman Show situation.
Yeah.
You break into the
Right.
next enclosure.
Yep.
Start to
Like,
ask yourself,
we're
why-
not on Earth at all.
Right. Why do we have these weird laws about not being flying too high or
Mhm.
interesting stuff like that they just take for granted and then one day find out I was raided by slugs? Is that what I hear in chat? Slug Terra, is that a thing?
It's a new kingdom in Subterra.
Oh,
Right.
Slug Terra. Yikes. Gross. Yeah, Bodega Cat. That's right. Of course, Paul Rua, a ubiquitous creator in the Atomic Think Tank, is talking about submissions that we have for the Aegis files, which is a nice. It's as though Aegis is you've cracked into the system and all of their files about all the heroes that are heroes and villains. You can also they write them up and you can just borrow them. You can just
Mhm.
add them to your whole adventure and have fun with them.
Mhm.
Super fun.
Indeed.
Shrunken jungle in a jar in a museum. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Super
and that's
fun.
like the ultimate version of it belongs in a museum. Somebody took the whole place and put it somewhere else.
Stuck it in a museum.
How funny. Yeah. It would be funny if, and in the jar is a battle to get the antiquities out of museums, but they are a museum exhibit in them on their own right. Dinosaurs
all
and
the
Barbara
exhibits.
is great. What was that?
We're all an exhibit here.
We are, honestly. Lovecraft did some Jungle Lost Worlds.
Yep, sure did.
Interesting.
Not the best example of what we're talking about now, unfortunately.
Yeah. But why I love the notes of that cosmic horror kind of stuff, and we have flavors of it. But is that what he does, or is it?
Very much so.
Okay.
I mean, stuff like Lovecraft's Shub-Niggurath is pretty much the sort of cosmic horror embodiment of the life teeming environment. Just that space that's just full of all kinds of creatures, creepy crawly and otherwise.
Ooh, interesting. Meredith mentions the priestess from Rat Queens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with Rat Queens.
It's a fantasy sort of D&D-ish comic series.
Got you. Yeah, that's Hulu worshipping, as in the subscription TV service, or
I don't think so.
look who's here. It's Owen Casey Stevens.
Well, hello.
It doesn't take much to turn Killmonger from Black Panther into a model for a heroic campaign. True?
No, you could definitely play the, Killmonger had some valid points.
That's right.
Scenario.
Yes. David Bodie has a question. So, what are some of the tropes that we could see in a jungle setting? Pulp, futuristic, or post-apocalyptic?
Yeah, indeed. Well, I think one of the key tropes you'll see for a Lost World or a jungle setting is basically the fish out of water trope. Oftentimes, the characters, the protagonists in a Lost World setting will be from outside the Lost World. They're, ordinary Americans. The classic, of course, is that they're astronauts or explorers or, soldiers or what have you. But they're not from around here. And so therefore, like the players, the characters basically don't know everything about the setting, and they're learning about it as the characters learn about it, which gives the game master a lot of latitude. And you don't have to front load the players with a ton of information about the setting, because they've never been. So they're finding out about it as you go through the adventure.
And animal skin bikini.
Yep. Which is super awkward depending on what kind of animal you were raised by.
That's true. I was raised by porcupines. Let's see. In a world stuck in a museum, I'm now just thinking about the Roman and the cowboy in a night at the museum. That's a fun juxtaposition. Super fun.
Yep. You would definitely do night at the Space Museum for the curator,
Oh, certainly. Absolutely. Ulysses Bloodstone and his daughter Elsa from Marvel is a big game hunter themed super monster hunter. Bad guy or good
guy? Sort of anti-hero good guy.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Got you. Of course, wearing a animal skin bikini.
Good guy-ish. No, he was in the classic Monster Hunter job tours and neat boots and all of that.
Yeah, Keystarf brings up some interesting considerations. Is just survival.
Yep.
As far as a trope, you need shelter, food, and water.
Absolutely.
Maybe you've got some, injury or something, depending on how you landed there or found it. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Also,
one of my other favorite tropes with this genre is the evil sorcerer who's in like the main villain for everything.
Oh yeah.
Like Demos for the warlord or
Yep.
Oh, Turok from Valiant.
Yep. Turok the dinosaur hunter.
Yes.
But yeah, Alex is right. Usually there's some big bad in the Lost World setting that the protagonists are the ones who throw everything out of whack with their sudden arrival. And the guy who, it's usually a guy, but not always, the villain who is, well on their way to, domination of all of the Lost World is now suddenly having to deal with these interlopers and their foreign ideas and usually their skills and weapons.
Yeah, absolutely, Angel. And I think this is a fun, definitely a fun trope that we're trapped in the jungle that we made with our technology. I like that.
Yeah, one of my favorite my Batman 66 Suicide Squad game involves going to the Lost World. Where Skitaris.
Yeah.
Because the Beatles get taken there because Deimos is trying to summon the best musicians in the world to perform his ritual. And he takes everybody but Ringo because that always makes me laugh. It makes everybody at the table laugh.
I love it. Also, Ricky Tikki Tavi. Now that's a deep cut.
Yep.
Straight from my childhood. Now, I believe that Ricky Tikki Tavi and Ricky Tikki Tembo are two different things.
Could be.
Because there's like the Chinese. Anyway, we're not going to get into it.
Yeah,
you're just saying words to me right now, Troy. I don't know.
I remember the one with the mongoose in India. Beyond that,
now friends in chat, have you never heard of the Ricky Tikki Tembo No Sa Rembo? Something blah, 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 blah. Tell me if you remember what I'm saying. If you don't remember, then I'm just a crazy person. Let's see. There's often a modern evil. Yes, this is a very.
Yes.
Yeah, they want the resources.
Yeah, the classic bad guy corporation that's out there to, basically strip mine the Lost World is another really common trope.
Or they're running some experiments that need to be away from population, and it's causing trouble with the locals. The Jungle Book. Sure, classic.
Yep.
Avatar, which is now where they become a Lost World adventure.
Yeah, Avatar is
Yeah.
absolutely a Lost World story.
Tiki Tiki Tembo. Thank you so much. Thank you, Owen. Yet again, redeeming me. Of course, I was saying it wrong. So, but still.
RC, we'll roll it up and we'll see what happens.
Right.
We could play that fight on air.
There's also DC's New Frontier, where the bad guy was a dinosaur.
Dinosaur Island. Yeah.
Was the whole island?
Yes, the whole island was literally a sentient creature.
Ooh, I like that. That's cool and creepy.
Which admittedly followed well after Marvel's Krakoa, the island that walks like a man. But
yeah. Let's see. There are so
many Richard Tichard Tavi, Claude. Come on.
Richard.
That's their full name.
That's right. That's their. That's their ID. Yeah.
Be on their driver's license if Mongoose had a driver's license.
SAG after a card.
Right. SAG after a card, exactly.
That's so good. In addition to biomechanical dinosaurs, there's also shape-shifting devils and biomechanical aliens with high-tech weapons in a post-apocalyptic version of Earth where time has no meaning.
Indeed.
Are you talking about the Green Ronin boardroom? Let's see. Richard. That's so good. Richard Tichard. Let's see. The Island of Dr. Circe is in Astonishing Adventures, which is essentially a Lost World. Yeah. Dr.
Essentially,
Yeah. Says Apook. Yeah, I dig it. So
fun jungle island setting.
Let's see. I gotta, when some of our friends in chat, they really want you to see the thing that they're saying, or they will repeat it until you do. Until we do. A hunter explorer is a sportsman who fights both nature and poachers. He's a conservationist, so a hero to some. Okay, good.
Yeah, I saw the Craven movie.
Yeah. So the Dinosaur Planet. Did someone say Anne McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Yes. Whoever said that, you get a little treat.
Yeah. I mean, likewise, obviously, Jurassic World and all of its associated things are basically just modern Lost World stories.
Yeah. I like it. So yeah, Kimba's good. Is Kimba, who do I know Kimba as? Is
Kimba the White Lion?
Yeah, the lion. Yeah. So
one of the things I love about this trope is it doesn't matter what kind of technology or like modern expertise you bring to the natural world. That's not going to help you.
It's not going to help.
Some way to commune with the nature or avoid the nature.
Yeah,
right. I dig it. Treat me. Oh, it's you, Michael. Okay, good. You get a treat. I don't know what it is. You get a
hero point. That's our easiest treat to hand out.
It's the easiest treat. It is indeed. So, okay. So we've talked about some of the tropes. We've talked about, is there any sort of things that people, aside from what we talked about at the beginning, are there any other sort of ways to, actually touch on a little bit? You just were talking about how, hey, you got to have some way to commune. What are some other elements that a GM and a player, when they're creating, the jungle hero, should be considering when they were building a kind of Lost World adventure, a jungle adventure?
Well, I think that you need to take into account the challenges of the environment in relationship to the character's powers. And fortunately, like Alex pointed out, oftentimes a lot of powers don't tend up being super useful in that environment. It's great if the heroes, can actually like wrestle a Tyrannosaurus, and which means you should definitely throw one at them.
Right.
But for a lot of things, it really is about what the characters learn about the environment. And you can definitely play around with, some of the elements of the Lost World to say that there are weird crystals or weird chemicals in the environment, or the mists that come from the Lake of Mists, or what have you, that have certain effects that limit some of what the heroes can do.
Yeah. Like with cell phones or something. Yeah.
Right, and maybe a part of the mystery of them figuring out how they're going to solve the problem posed in the adventure. One of the great things, of course, you can get away with in Lost Worlds that are not actually on Earth, is that all of the earthly technology that relies on being on Earth doesn't work anyway.
Yeah,
you're definitely getting no bars in a parallel universe where technology never evolved, much less, there's no GPS satellites or anything like that. I did a Lost World adventure, in fact, where one of the players was literally like, well, we can use GPS. And they were flummoxed for several minutes by the fact that they could not get a GPS signal anywhere. And somebody was like, I'm pretty sure there's no satellites up there.
What a fun way to play that, though, too, is to let them discover it themselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Your technology is useless here. This is interesting, too. I think you're right, Owen. Owen talks about if you're running a jungle-themed adventure, make sure, because there's going to be somebody who wants to be, that if they're playing that character that is pure of heart and deed, they're gonna want to read the UN laws on agreements on comporting yourself in the jungle. Alice in Wonderland, could Alice in Wonderland be considered a savage land kind of trope?
I wouldn't have thought so, but I think it would be kind of fun to play around with.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the Jabberwock shows up.
Right.
Yeah.
There is a T-Rex in that story.
Predator is a great example of a jungle story. Absolutely. Yeah.
Predator is definitely much more in the vein of the Vietnam as science fiction horror movie genre. But there's a lot of potential crossover between that and Lost World stories. And it's interesting to take something that's more of Heart of Darkness, and match that onto a jungle Lost World kind of environment.
Yeah.
Or Apocalypse Now, for that matter.
Oh, yeah. I know. And just, we
talked about
for sure.
Saturday Morning Quicksand, always a big threat.
Right.
Owen brings up something else I really get annoyed about when dealing with dinosaurs. Owen brings up stampeding herds of herbivores, where herbivores are super dangerous. Like everybody
getting stepped on by a brontosaurus is not good for you.
No. Yeah, they may not want to.
Because an animal's an herbivore doesn't mean it will not ruin your whole day.
Happy to beat you. Yeah,
it's so true.
Go into an elephant enclosure and try to take one of its kids. See what happens.
Right. It will not go well for you.
Thoughts. Here's a for higher PL savage hero archetype. Consider the background of the hero coming from Death World or Monster World, where the only absolute fittest and most clever could survive.
Yep,
I do like that.
Yeah, my next M&M character is going to be a Catachan jungle fighter who got teleported into a superhero universe.
Is Predator PL 6?
No,
Predator is probably close to PL 8.
Yeah.
The soldier protagonists are probably PL6.
Yeah, maybe not the Predator movies. If you can suspend, your hope and dreams for acting or any kind of, it's kind of a fun little silly departure. I do like Alice in Wonderland, generally Claude, like you, as a kind of, isekai kind of thing. I like that. Let's see. Nate Robbins, PL10, according to the Supernatural Handbook, says RC.
Okay.
Well, fine, RC. Hippos are killers. That is true, Michael. That is very true.
Hippos are super dangerous, actually.
Have you ever seen those little cute ones when they first come out? They're very cute, and then they kind of turn into big farting.
I think hippos kill more people than sharks, right?
I think so, yeah.
Hippos kill more people than lions, leopards, elephants, buffaloes, and rhinos combined. They're the most dangerous land mammal in Africa, killing an estimated 500 people annually.
Who's protecting the hippos?
Right. Well, who's protecting people from the hippos?
Clearly not anybody, or whoever's behind this whole PR campaign that hippos are just cute, big, wet, weird things. Let's say because herbivores were docile and harmless, predators would... it would be kind of fun if you did decide to go with, Owen, yeah. But first tempo, because if herbivores were docile and harmless, predators would have hunted them down to extinction. What happens if you find a world where there are no predators. Everybody is existing, peacefully, and they're all just a bunch of cute, fat, uneaten
Well,
food.
as
Hippos would still be dicks.
as the expression goes, I can imagine such a world, and I can imagine us attacking it because they would never see it coming.
That's right.
Yeah.
All the juicy food that it's just hanging out. But this is a good one. Flowers with mind-affecting perfume. Yes. Or they shoot a little
Yes.
dart into your neck.
Yes. Or carnivorous plants of various giant sizes that will grab
That's
and eat
exactly
things.
right. Yeah.
Always,
and,
always a popular one.
super fun. Feed me, Seymour. So are the parents in I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas? Yeah, they were right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't buy your child a hippo. That is irresponsible parenting.
Let's suspend for a moment. Everybody's such a smarty. If there are no predators, they become prey become the predators. But in this world, everybody's just friendly.
Right. And thanks to Apuk, now we're edging into hippo alternate history.
Oh no, are you a hippo apologist, Apuk? There was a time in 1910 America where we nearly became a nation of hippo ranchers.
Yeah.
To eat them? I wonder what they would taste like. What does a hippo taste like?
As it is now, much of South America is dealing with a growing wild hippo population because a bunch of drug lords who had more money than sense decided they were going to import hippos for their private zoos. And of course, the hippos got loose, escaped into the wild, and now there's a growing hippo population in the Amazon basin.
So you got a bunch of coked up hippos hanging out in the jungles. Oh no.
Pretty much.
Scary.
Just defying anybody to mess with them.
Angel mentions, I wonder how a plant controlling hero villains would survive in this setting like poison ivy.
I imagine they do pretty well.
Yeah.
They get to be God in this new world.
One of the things that also happens in the jungle is that ant zombie fungus that gets in their brain and makes them go places. That's creepy. That can be fun with that.
You could definitely play around with all kinds of zombie fungus and zombie plants.
Insect controlling heroes would be a lot of fun in the jungle adventures too.
What about a jungle tick?
Ant-Man would have the best time.
Right.
Oh wow, that would be intense. You could have a lot of fun with that. Heroes fighting cocaine hippos. Yeah, right.
In the very first episode of the Avengers cartoon, Ant-Man was like, you know what I like about Africa?
I love it. In the South,
all the ants.
In the South, wild pigs have become trouble, like Steve's hippos.
Javelinas,
yeah, they run around. They kind of look cute for a minute, and then they get very weird. They
are
run in little lines throughout the city. It's wild.
Pigs are dangerous. Pigs are one of the animals that will turn feral the fastest.
Because they're smart.
Any animal that gets loose.
Yeah. Oh, gross. David Bodie, I'm not even going to talk about it. Stop talking about it. Don't add more size to them.
Giant jungle ticks.
Owen definitely points out that, setting up a poison ivy type character as the ruler of a lost world gives you a very different kind of villain nation from Dr. Doom's Latveria.
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
You got a very interesting, very eco forward, bad guy who rules a jungle paradise.
Yuck. Jungle ticks, gross. Let's see, poison
ivy.
I
accept no responsibility for the hippos.
Yeah, no, they are Steve's hippos now. And David Bodie's ticks. I love that. The other thing I love is that there is that trope of the person who's gone missing. When you find them, they're the leader of this world. They don't want to come back.
The mysterious person we've been looking for all this time is really the mysterious masked villain who runs this whole thing.
Yeah, and also there was a book, one of my favorite books as a kid, called Atta, A-T-T-A. About a guy that shrinks down to the size of ants and then has to contend with their culture and their, he can communicate with them and all of that. Another really fun opportunity to kind of, go in. It's almost sort of like going into the, you miniaturize yourself and fly into the body,
Yeah, that's a common, another sort of combination mad science lost world trope is that, heroes get shrunk down and the lost world is basically just someone's backyard.
Yeah. Yes, right. I love that. Hey, dude.
We really need to do one of those adventures, a shrunken hero adventure.
I would
I'm
love
down
it
with
if
it.
we did an
It's a
Anthony.
genre I love.
Mm-hmm.
So fun. Biodome crossed with a prison colony. Yeah. You could have some real M. Night Shyamalan kind of fun with that. It's we kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. Yeah. That's true, RC. Ada, not to be confused.
With AT-ATs.
One of my friends insists on saying AT-AT, and I literally...
I will fight you about this, Troy.
I push the button, and the trapdoor opens, and away they went. I haven't seen
It's AT-AT. It's...
Oh, no, it was you.
It's ATST and AT-AT. It's not ATST.
I'm pushing the button, and you're not... the trapdoor is not working, darn it. Return of the Jedi is a jungle movie.
Right. True. What does this button even do? Why do we have this?
I know. What this button is useless.
It's been a hero point to break that lever.
Really? Okay. Yep. Well, we'll take this off the air because it's 3:53 my time, which means we're almost done, and it's almost time for what's in the tank. But gentlemen,
yes.
Any final words for friends that are looking to sort of dive into the lost world as a jungle hero?
Alex?
Just be friendly with your players. Make sure to let them know, is this going to be just a fun pulp escape? Are we going to engage with any of the bad tropes that come with this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Grab a copy of Atlas of Earth Prime. Check out the Lost World setting in there. You can get some real adventure mileage out of that.
Well, here's a question for you. What flavor is jungle gravy?
Mosquito.
Right, pureed mosquito.
Yucko, that's disgusting. All right,
creme de mosquito.
Oh, Claude says pronounced 80-80.
Get out of here, Claude. We already have enough problems.
Claude, you're a GIF.
Claude. You are the exact opposite of helpful.
All right, I feel like we're treading into areas best left untrodden. I think this is a great time to say, Alex, Steve, thank you so much for hanging out. Chat, thank you too. But don't go anywhere. Chat. We're gonna let Steve and Alex head on off into the PDF lines in the jungle. Yes. And but we're gonna come back with what's in the tank, and we'll bring our buddy Devious, and we're just gonna talk about all kinds of good stuff, and maybe riff on the jungle a little bit more. But for now, I say to you two, thank you very much for hanging out and hang out. Friends in chat, and we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up next. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Bye. Oh, that made us big.
Hey, speaking of big, Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Pacific, here in this very same place, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Twitch or you're on, well, I don't think we're doing LinkedIn, but it's funny to do it once in a while. It's the joy of game mastering, or jog, as I like to call it, or hyog, with Alex Thomas, and he's going to talk about game mastering and what a joy it is, giving you hints and tips and tricks and things that you can use to, up your GM game, which I say, hey, why not? Go for it. In addition, we've got what's going on for May. How is it May already? I just don't. Why? Anyway, look, we've got Joy of Game Mastering, of course, Thursday. Did you know that Owen Casey Stephen, who was hanging out in chat to this very evening, he was the progenitor of that show. Good times we had. And it continues 2 p.m. Pacific on Thursdays. Now listen, office hours used to be on Wednesday, but it conflicted with a collection of our dear friends. Please don't kill my character. Or don't kill my character, please. I'm getting all choked up because I love him so much. We're moving office hours to Thursday. It'll be after Thursday. We'll try it out for a minute. And listen, I get so exhausted after these things that I can't even think. And so we'll see. But we'll try that. That'll happen this week. Now, listen, Thursday, we've got some big things coming, big announcements. And I do mean big. It's I'm excited about it, and I want you to be there. So be there, hanging out with us to hear those big announcements this coming the 7th. Or no, I'm sorry, the 8th. Don't come on the 7th because that'll be a Wednesday. But hang out with us. And then you're going to want to, after that Thursday, come hang out with me in the think tank for office hours, because you're going to be like, what? Because it's good, big, good news that affects really kind of everybody. And my office hours are a moving target. Hey, Daniel. And did everyone catch me hanging out with Stan, being sort of his troublesome pal, helping him with his 100 pieces of art in 100 minutes? We got to 88, which is pretty awesome. And several of them were top-notch accidental butts, which I think is great. So go back and look at the video for your own. See if you can find the butt. How many butts can you find? That's the game we're playing right now. In addition, now we're still talking about what's going on with the actual play for the Cape and Cow Club. That's the little treat that the Cape and Cow Club participates in, and you're invited to watch. We'll figure that out probably towards the latter part of the month. But we've got the workshop coming up. We've got dev chats. Stat blocks are dropping today-ish or tomorrow, perhaps. But they're dropping soon. And then we have another set that's dropping on the 19th that aren't listed here. But the Cape and Cow Club is a membership that you can purchase for $8 a month. If you buy the full year, you get, I think it's 2 months free. And if you step in now to check out what's going on in the tank, or the Cape and Cow Club at the Atomic Think Tank, you will get 1 free month. So that's a total of 3 free months. And then and that's if you pay annually. You can do the $8 a month and just try it out for a minute. Listen, everything that you're going to hear from my pal Devious Hearts to be exact, is free. Whoop, there you are, Devious. What's in the tank is the feature where Devious and I get to hang out and talk about all the groovy, cool, fun, amazing things that people are doing. Why are you such a little circle? There you are. Hi, Devious. Hey, see you. Who's leaving? Take care. Yeah, $80 a year. Now, you get all the goods. Now, Devious, you just happen to be a member. Are you there? I can't hear you if you're there.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, there you are.
Excellent. It helps when one is going on a broadcast if one takes oneself off mute.
Hey, okay. I'm going to add that.
Discovered that. That's
I'm
a
gonna add
helpful pro tip. Hope everyone enjoys that. So.
Yeah, we'll be talking about sideburns, Claude, here in just a moment.
There you go.
But Devious, so you're a member of the Cape and Cow Club.
I am.
But here's the important thing. Is there so all the things we're going to be talking about now, this is all the stuff you pay for, right?
No, this is the free stuff. The stuff we're getting ready to go over, all free. Hundreds of articles, hundreds of stat blocks, all at your fingertips, all for you to use.
Okay, but free, like as in it costs you a little bit of money to use it, or?
Nope. Free meaning that thing that doesn't cost you anything. The free that is free, like, mother's love is
free. Yeah, that's very sweet. Okay, so that's.
I mean, mine charged me, yeah, but
mine did too. But,
yeah.
But hey, whatever. But okay, so
it's cheap, 25 cents a hug, wasn't bad,
Well, that's nice. You put a little coin in the hug jar.
There you go.
I love that. Well, yeah. So that is to say that the things that we're offering through the Cape and Cow Club are extra on top, good stuff. That's independent of all this stuff that you're going to get. It's a deluge of creativity. Let it wash over you as we explore all the good stuff that is. Shall I do it? Shall I find it? Shall I play it?
You should play it.
I think I'm going to try to play it.
It so much was spent on the production values on it.
Right. Let me find it here. It's deep within the here it is. Is this it? No, that's not it.
Isn't it?
Well, hold on. Let's see. Is it this it?
No, that wasn't it.
No. Okay, I'll have to find it, but that felt like I really thought that was going to be it.
It was very close to being it, but it wasn't quite it.
Well, how about nope, it's not here either. Well, it's gone now. So you know what we'll do is we'll say, Devious, tell us what's in the tank.
What's in the tank is what I will tell you now. First of all,
It's illusion all over you.
I want to tell you that I'm absolutely stuffed. I mean, after we killed that Tyrannosaurus Rex, I figured why waste the meat? But man, that drumstick was a little bit more than I could. Thank you for making the gravy for it, though.
Try the hippo.
Oh, there you go. What's in the tank? May the 4th be with you. We are coming down on a number of articles I did. Right now, I've got a little time off from work to let my eye heal after surgery. So I have invested that in putting out some articles for
I'm more
folks.
of a Revenge of the Fifth guy.
Revenge of the Fifth. Uh-oh. Well, you'll have the Revenge of the Fifth if you have Cinco de Mayo, but that's more the 6th.
Oh, the hippo.
The 6th is definitely because you drink in Cinco de Mayo and wake up the next morning with a hangover. That's the Revenge of the 6th.
Listen,
Anyway.
King Snarf, I don't know if it's legal. I don't know. This is extra legal.
Extra legal. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Yeah.
So, what we have in the tank is I have an article on Risk from Seventh Seas. Basically, it's a different way of doing skill challenges where you, the GM sets up what the things are that are at stake and what a person can purchase with their successes, and then allows the player to pick out what those successes mean. So basically a little way to help hand the narrative over to the player temporarily.
Okay.
There is a little section now that I have to give Claude Dardar.
Cloud Dadar. I love that.
The
I don't think that's how we pronounce it, but you know,
exactly. That's the way I pronounce it. But basically I have to give him some props basically for coming up with the idea of it came from Reddit. And you have to imagine the echo there. Reddit.
Edit.
Exactly. But basically we go into Reddit and people who are asking questions there, we bring them over here and plop them down. Well, I'm not only pulling from the Mutants and Masterminds, right? I'm also pulling from like DM Academy and other places where it's just general TCRPG information. So we have number 2 there is memory alteration power that was asked for. Somebody actually mentioned that it was in a Patreon thing a while back, but I couldn't find it, so I just made it up on my own.
Yeah. Oh, so okay. Yeah.
But I just basically made it up.
Who was the person looking for that?
I think it was Leonidas.
Leonidas. Oh, Leonidas, who I think just recently, if I'm thinking of the right person, joined the Cape and Cow.
Yeah, so there you go. The second ones that came from Reddit, how to make the game more death heavy for players, and I went over different things you can do there to make the game a little bit more risky, a little bit more scary for folks.
Twist.
Yes. I did making your game number 2 pre-session 0, the things you can do building up to session 0 to kind of help people get an idea about what the game's going to be about, plan that session out and get everything together. I did an article on what is a bathroom mentalist.
Yeah, they asked that. I did. That was the question. I was like, what is a bathroom mentalist? It's just like, I mean, it just sounds like a bad place to be a mentalist.
It is. Well, if you just think about are you kidding? A nice warm bath.
Okay.
Kick back, light some candles, save the planet.
All right. Okay. Sure. I thought maybe it was someone,
on the pot.
Yes, on the pot.
You get a lot of concentration done there. Very, very focused.
I do. It doesn't lead to anything outside of, except for,
that thing. But bathroom mentalist basically is purchasing the remote sense power.
Okay.
And then buying a power with the sense range on it, so that you could comfortably sit in your bathtub as you wander around with your senses attacking things. And
is that the origin of bathroom mentalist, really? I mean,
yes,
is that
it is
like you can relax with your bonbons and your peeled grapes in the luxurious tub?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
There are a couple of other things that players can do to kind of skirt basically the back and forth of combat, but basically it's how to make what to look out for when somebody's making their character.
Got it.
But I've got a thing on streamlined note taking for Mutants and Masterminds, and it was based on it's another one of my Grand Theft articles. Basically,
I really like that.
what a YouTuber does for D&D and say, hey, here's how you can apply it to Mutants.
I like the way you do it because you cite the source. I love the Grand Theft article. It's just hilarious because you're borrowing notions and stuff, but it's a fun walkthrough looking at Mutants and Masterminds through the lens of another TTRPG fan, and I think that's really great. It's a fun feature.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of resources out there for Dungeons and Dragons. It just takes a few thought processes to tweak it over for Mutants and Masterminds.
How many of the Grand Theft articles? How many of the Grand Theft articles have you done?
Oh goodness, I don't know, but basically what I'll do is I'll always put the video at the beginning. So if you look through the list and you see, hey, that looks like a what do they call that? The promo pic for a video. It's probably one of them.
Yeah. Do you hashtag it as well? We have the whole hashtag scenario.
I think I did, but I'll go back and check.
It's at least 2,000, give or take.
Around roughly.
Yeah,
right.
There. I like it.
Also, I did the oldies but goodies 1 and 2. I wanted to basically make it so that brand new people who just got here can go back and take a look at some of the work I put in the past. My first articles on the guide to running your first Mutants and Masterminds game was in there, and also I did something on the baddies. Basically, that is articles by myself, Jacob Gross, and the illustrious and multi-talented and what a lovely singing voice he has, Paul Rua, have put together on the
lovely
villainy.
Singing voice.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I had no idea.
Dazzling,
you say?
Dazzling, I say, yes, indeed. But in the Aegis files, we have Chris Davies came up with a trifecta, but now it's what's a quadfecta? I guess it'd be. But he's got 4 cosmic characters. I only have 3 in here because I didn't see he just put up one another for this one where there's the power prism.
That's très cosmique.
Yes, it's kind of cool because it's kind of if you read through them, it touches on like elements of Green Lantern Corps, Star Wars, with a little touch of Guardians of the Galaxy in there. I really like the vibe that he's got going on for them. And Big Nate has got his Fantasy Force, and we also have Contagion Kid by Matt Mabray and his Legion Institute.
That's great.
Contagion Kid.
That's good, Matt.
Fantastic. Of course, today we have Mutants and Masterminds Jungle Heroes. Or in this case, Ungle Heroes.
Ungle Hero. He's my favorite Ungle.
Tomorrow, of course, we have Alex Thomas as the Joy of Game Mastery. On Thursday.
Who's that? Handsome
prior to Thursday, because he is basically moving his thing there to that time to accommodate. We have RPG Talk, or as I like to call it, Mumatu.
Can I say real quick? Mumatu. I like that. But I just want to just pause for a moment and say I really appreciate how we are all juggling and moving and sort of sliding around the schedule in order to make accommodation so everyone can have some space. I think it's important, and I sure appreciate it. I like when it's just this reciprocal community of people that care and want everybody to have opportunity at the mic. And so thank you, Claude, for doing that. And you're quite a Claude.
He is an amazing Claude.
He's the best Claude I know. Honestly.
He is absolutely. I've never seen anybody Claude better than him.
He really
and also wooden clog dancing is another talent.
Owen Casey Stevens, who was in the audience earlier, he is actually he travels the world as a clog dancer. He's a gold medalist.
Those two should get together. Definitely,
I think there'd be such a clogging.
It would be.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's going to be doing a topic of Jungle Heroes in the Lost City as well on his show on Thursday, because basically he's taking whatever you guys talk about on the show and bringing it on over. So
we talked about Ungle Heroes. So
Ungle Heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if he wants to, put his own spin on it, that's great.
Yeah, Ungle Heroes, get on that. And of course, Thursday after Thursday, now we have Get Tank with Troy. His office hours will be after Thursday this week. We didn't have DKMC this week, but they are picking it up on the following week. So basically, we're going to have open, this Wednesday night will be open. If anybody wants to fill it, let us know.
Oh, and it's so
And
fun. Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, when they're open, you want to check them out.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Monday, May 12th, at 11 a.m., Golden Squad is coming. And basically, that would be the lovely and talented Luke Fellman, who we had a discussion with on the last office hours. It was quite lovely.
Yeah, it was great.
Charming fellow, great
Yes.
series. He's got so many episodes already ready already.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
He
he's
knocked them
doing
out
it
of
right.
the park. And what he does is he does the things, and he puts, he'll take like 2 or 3 hours worth of gaming, and he'll try to consolidate it and put it all together. Great production values. Check it out. Definitely.
I'm still just
listen.
mystified by. Yeah, I've been listening. I've really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun, and it's very well done. But I'm mystified
Mhm.
that he wasn't found first before I found him on the Reddit, and I was like, "This is wild." And
Who's this guy? Where the
I
heck
was
he
like,
come from?
and what are you talking about? 20 some odd episodes? I mean, come on. But they're well done. And Claude, guess what? He's in our neck of the woods. He lives over in Snohomish County, which is very interesting here in Washington State. But yeah, we should have a little confab, get us all together and do some, I don't know whatever we do. Put on tights and go save the world.
Put on your clogs and go save the world. Yeah.
Put on our tights and get clogged.
Woohoo!
Yes.
So basically, that's what's that's what's coming up this week. Very much looking forward to it. Of course.
How are you getting this? How are you getting that the word on the new calendar link?
You gave it
to you?
Yeah.
No, I did it.
Yeah.
When?
I
think you were reading my mind.
Unless it was. Let's see.
Anywho, yeah, it's we've got an updated bunch of stuff on the calendar, so take a click and have some fun.
But making that basically featured articles this week are the Making the Game number 2, pre-session 0, and the Power Prism, which is Chris's cosmic characters, Glofri, Kashkaz, and Rathamoys.
Okay.
Kind of shades of Star Wars naming. I kind of dig it.
You don't say.
I say. But anyway, and of course, Cape and Cow Club got the Pinewood Project. If you're in the Cape and Cow Club, come check it out.
Now, I don't want to put too fine a point on it, and I know it isn't M&M related, but this, SC Pirate, I'm really sorry to hear that, friend, and my best to you, and I'm really glad that this lifted your spirits, because it lifts mine too, given all of the...
bummer.
Yeah. But
sorry, man.
Glad you were able to hang out with us. And I do want to say, if you are even a fan of, let's say just like me, one or two of you, join us for Thursdays, because it's what we're going to talk about on Thursdays is going to be, it has ramifications that will ripple throughout this entire community.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it'll be great. It'll be a good time. It'll be an interesting time. And you should join us. So that's Thursdays, 2 p.m. Pacific. Is that 5 p.m. Eastern?
2 p.m. Pacific. I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's right. Yeah. And whatever you Central people are doing, I don't even begin to understand.
I was not informed that math would be involved.
That math would be involved in just what time it is. I know. Yeah. Well, okay.
Not fair.
PBS, to you, I say thank you for sharing what's in the tank. Just a bounty of it's a cornucopia of fun, interesting things, and everything that you talked about. There are things those are all things that you as the listener, you can get into the Atomic Think Tank at atomicthinktank.com and touch it. You can touch it with your own eyeballs. And print it out and touch it with your fingers if you want. You can just print it all out, throw it in bed, and take a nap on it.
If you want to.
It'll be very comfortable. But you do a great job, and I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, I did just get a couple new articles in there. I forgot when I did the first article on making your game. I did a bunch of starter pitches, but I didn't actually tell you why to make them and what that entails. I just updated that and put that article in. I came out with, it came from Reddit 3 on information on setting the scene. So you can take a look at that as well. So
Lovely. Okay.
Just put in the tank for you guys.
Beautiful. And we'll end with this notion where David Bodie says time is not math.
It hurts.
It hurts my brain anyway. But that's it, friends. You know what it's time to say? It's time to say, touch it. No, that's not what time it is. It's time to say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.